He's a humble man, but he'll...
All right. This is called Daisy's Corner Shop, with a nod to Sweetie Todd. At her corner shop in old London town, the widow Daisy sold her fresh mince pies. Each day different, each day a new surprise. They came to taste these pies of great renown from far and wide, from districts all around. Her customers endeavored to surmise just what dear Daisy baked into her pies. What spices within crust so golden brown could give such savor, and what sort of meat would draw the crowds to wait upon her street for daily fare from Daisy's cooking pot. How strange they never noticed there was not on Daisy's street a hint of mice or rats, nor any wayward children, dogs or cats. It's called Man, Lord Over All. Some hate to admit we are, in fact, kin to furry and reptilian creatures. But obvious facts are evident when we examine our similar features. All chordate creatures have skulls, spines, and brains, and each is possessed of his beating heart. But over them all this primate man reigns, because of three things that set him apart. His forebrain, of course, opposable thumbs, distinctive these features easily rate, and exclusively ours also, the bum. For buttocks enable bipedal gait. With cunning and skill we hunted our prey. We stood tall and peered across the vast plains. By night we used fire to keep beasts at bay. In daylight our tools cemented our gains. But man has become estranged from the land. He rarely stalks prey through woods in a crouch, but rather stares blankly, remote in hand, flaccid, inert, on his ass on the couch. All right, that's as funny as I get. I'm going to get serious now. Play politics. Up in Georgetown, I like to hack off all the conservatives. This is called The Voice Behind the Throne. It's free verse. Dick Cheney could buy the heart of a dead man, while some working mom with a kid or two can't afford a checkup for herself or her children. And lots of good Christians think that's just fine. They bristle at the unrighteousness of abortion and rail against Planned Parenthood, while their tax dollars support the world's largest war machine. It rumbles on, unstoppable, making men like Dick Cheney rich. But if you were to ask them, they don't believe in Keynesian economics. Yes, Dick Cheney bought the heart of a dead man. Before that, he lived for a time with no heart at all. He had a mechanical pump that moved blood through his veins with no pulse, just a mechanical whir. What a fitting symbol, I think, for the new American century and the moribund neocon dream. Oh, say, can you see the sun reddens the skies? We have our eyes open, but we stumble blind. We dance to the same tune, the same tired lies. As each day begins, it's still the same grind. A faceless few hide behind walls of wealth and take what they want by deception and stealth. They care not a whit for the wholeness or health of disposable people who man their machines. Clergy and congressmen camp at their gates to offer their services, pass them a plate, and bestow the blessings of church and state to those who wield power behind the scenes. For yesterday, screaming, the maddened crowd raves. They flock to the banner that says, Jesus saves, while giving their votes to liars and knaves. how sternly they warn us that darkness will fall. The judges continue to sit with the priest and endeavor to make the sun fly to the east. They do what they must to keep the wheels greased and keep us in step with the cadence they call. What we proudly hailed is just an illusion. We seek the sublime and we choke on our vile. We bow to the madmen, embrace their delusions. We follow like children misled by their guile. Like credulous rubes, we fall for their schemes. We stand in the middle between the extremes. We cling to the solace of trickle-down dreams. But faith is forsaken and hope hard to find. The morning sun rises and reddens the skies. We bow to the demons who stand in disguise. We dream their delusions and swallow their lies. A new day has come. We're still groping blind. All right, I call this one the Second Amendment Jesus. The Jesus I was raised with said to turn the other cheek. And if a man bids you bear his pack a mile, bear it too. He told us to love our neighbors as we love ourselves, and he said, he who is without sin should cast the first stone. I wonder where he went, this Jesus that I knew. Just imagine a modern-day Jesus, his disciples behind him with rifles in hand, AR-15s loaded with cop-killer rounds, because Jesus, who said his kingdom was not of this world, would surely cherish most his right to armed insurrection against a tyrannical federal government that we elected. How righteous an armed revolution would be. Nothing inspires reverence for life like blood in the streets. Think of it. No more sloth, lust, or vanity. By turning our minds from commerce and greed to mere survival, shut down the grid with a few well-placed bombs, and no one will clamor for cell phones or TVs or the latest chrome-plated gadgets. Amen. Let he who is without sin fire the first bullet. Now you need to imagine a very attractive lady saying this, not me. Okay, this is okay. This is for my friends at the NRA also here. It's called What You Packin', Mister. Hey, mister, what you packin'? What's that bulging in your pants? Is that your trusty Magnum? Would you give a girl a chance to lay her itching fingers on your pretty little gun? Come on, it would be a blast. Let's have a little fun. Would you give a girl a lesson? Teach her how to lock the bolt of your gun blue Smith & Wesson or your nickel-plated Colt? I want to feel the recoil of your Ruger in my hand. The thought of such a discharge is more than I can stand. But tell me true, my love, what you really have concealed. I need to know the measure of the power that you wield. Will I learn your 44 is just a 22? Or that with my plastic Glock, I'm as much a man as you? More love here. Oh, love. I'm only a transient passing through, a scruffy old bum in a rickety car going clackety-clack down the line with you. We're sharing the ride, it doesn't matter how far. Together on the road, I know that we can make it. Just feel the freight train bumpity-bump. When you're with me, you shouldn't have to fake it. I'm the man to get you over the hump. In the afternoon, when the sun is hot, and the train is a-chugging up a long, hard grade, we can jump to the side and find a shady spot by a babbling brook in a nice, cool glade. We can take our ease, skinny dip in the stream, have a little time to refresh the soul. We can lay on the grass for a train tunnel dream. Let the stream run down to the watering hole. Oh, let the stream run down to the watering hole. We can pass the night in a shanty camp. The train is long gone. We can sit by the fire, When the dew of the morn makes the soft grass damp, we can huddle real close and stoke the flames higher. It's a long, gentle journey, and I hope it doesn't end. We've come a long way, and we can't turn back. Just stay with me, my sweet little friend. I hear another train coming on down the track. Oh, another train is coming on down the track. Wonder where I put the last 40 years. Maybe you can help me? So I thought about it for a while. I wonder where the last 40 years went. Are they here in this box of old LPs, somewhere between the past and the present, between Led Zeppelin and the Bee Gees? Could I perhaps view lost years on TV? The old one with a tube and rabbit ears that no longer work. Would it let me see a hint or vestige of 40 lost years? Can I hear lost years on my telephone? The one with a dial that hung on the wall. If I wait here in the kitchen alone, will those lost years ever give me a call? Perhaps in the photos I used to take, those images stored by chemical means, you know, by safe light, that took hours to make. Can lost years be found in those grainy scenes? Could those years be hidden in magazines or in the pages of old, heavy books printed on paper instead of the screens of high-speed computers, Kindles, or Nooks? Do years hide in clothes that no longer fit in my closet, hanging far in the back? The wide-collared shirts, the pants double knit, old leisure suits, and those bell-bottom slacks? Do lost years hide in the lines of my face, beheld in the mirror through bleary eyes of an old, weary soul, barely a pace of new technologies as they arise? Am I just a relic like my TV, or cursive writing, or analog clocks? Perhaps I am doomed forever to be a cathode ray tube in a square box.